Welcome back, guys. We are going to take a look at some highlights here from round number 1. Team Clux, they had a really good start, but again, you mentioned it before, do you really have to take this many fights? They got a lot of kills, but they went out in about 11th or 12th place.
What you have to do, you have to be selective of your opportunities there, and of course you're going to be facing up against lesser teams in today's occasion, talking about wild cards, bringing in the mid to the bottom tier teams of the entire season, and you're probably going to win out more team fights than you usually do against good teams that are still going to be available. But that means that, the team fight that you do take care of, you still have to mention the risks that are going to be involved in trying to get yourself to the chicken dinner. But I think that some teams were a little bit better in being selective of their fights.
Yeah, it's definitely true. And a lot of teams that tried to make aggressive rotations into other teams, which is, I think the top level teams are better at identifying what their position is and where the other teams should be. They're better at rotating more safely when they're outside the circle, whereas we saw Kakao TV just kind of driving by Zod Gaming, getting blown up.
And I want to follow up on that point, Valdez, that you make. I think early rotation will be better for these types of matches when you're going against lesser teams for most of the rounds here. And the teams that are trying to make the late entrance will probably be shot down by multiple teams, but I think the early entrance, the early rotation for both Erangel and Miramar will be the way to go, as we'll probably see that happen for most of the teams here.
Danawa, it's kind of funny, they were trying to jump down this hill and make it into the circle as it was closing, but no could do. Rocket Armor had a good spot where they knew exactly where Lunatic High Flux were, shooting down against Sandbox. And they did win the fight, picked up a bunch of kills. As you will see the end of this fight, School did a really good job of cleaning them up, but did get knocked here. But after all that, MediaBridge MCN did win their fight. K58 was taken out by School, who picks up his 5th kill. But then just the MK14 firing down Hill, as the better position was taken here by MediaBridge MCN. And they relatively easily were able to clean up the rest of Rocket Armor, as they were very split up and knocked down. So nice little win there for MediaBridge MCN. They also get 13 kills, so 630 points, currently in first place after round 1.
But we're going to talk about top 4 being the objective for all the teams here. MediaBridge MCN, even with 630 points to start off the day, cannot feel too secure about their possibility to make it to the final. They need a few more good rounds to make sure they secure that position. But all the other teams, they just know that they have just an equal of an opportunity, even with a bad first round, can still have 3 good rounds after that to really try to get their chances to get to the final. So no one's really quite out of it yet.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really call much when you're here after round 1. You definitely have to wait. I mean, even Team Quadro could come in and pick up 2 chicken dinners. I think it's unlikely, but hey, you never know. As we'll be doing more calculations as we do get into round number 3 and finish that up and see exactly what the teams need to do in round 4. I love that we finished on FPP Erangel. It's my favorite mode, and it's usually the decider match. After everybody has racked up their points and they've gotten into a position, and now they're just trying to get one last good result on a very nice map there, FPP Erangel. But yeah, looking good for MediaBridge MCN. That's not the team that I would have said was going to be doing pretty well here in round 1. We were looking towards the Lunatic Highs of the matchups. We were looking at OPGG Rangers. Those 2 teams, they placed in the top 10. But it was down towards the bottom of the top 10.
Just means that they have to be more selective and be a little more wise as to how much is the possibility that can win out these fights here. And then putting out the right fights here, and they have the potential firepower to win over most of the teams here. But when you're in a disadvantaged position, you're just never going to win out, even against the worst teams out there. But just know that they are the teams to make it through, and even through these mid-tier teams, they've had good firepower in the past, but it was really the lack of the decisiveness that was really kind of holding them back here. So, kind of repeat of that once again could show that the teams that have struggled during the regular season might struggle again. So you have to be a little bit more decisive in selecting the right team fights.
Yeah. I was looking at the stats, and Sandbox and MediaBridge MCN, those were 2 teams that were down in the lower half, but they finished in the top 3. Let's see if they can do a repeat performance here going into FPP on Erangel. And by Erangel, I mean Miramar, of course. Here we do go. Going to be jumping into this one. Nice flight path, actually. The last one was a little bit more eastern focused. This one going to go essentially right down the middle. As you'll notice, none of these teams really like to go to the southwestern quadrant. Even in that last game, I know the flight path wasn't great, but nobody even went over to Monte Nuevo in that game.
Based on that game, talk about round 1 being the flight path. That was very similar to this one. And that 6 teams going to Los Leones does decrease to 5 after the database has been adjusted for the last round 1 that has come up to play. But 5 teams is still a lot of number. It's a really high number when concerning, even with this large city of Los Leones, will not be able to properly contain all 5 teams. So I wonder if any team's going to decide to make some changes here, because I think once we approach round 2, I think they're going to be playing a lot safer to make sure they get the early game going the way they wanted to make sure they're well equipped so they can get to the mid game properly.
You'll notice that as the plane flies by Los Leones, all those teams pop out that we were mentioning. It looks like the same 5 teams that we saw the last time are going to go there again. Lunatic High, Cacao, Rocket Armor, Actos Indigo, and who's that last team? Nightwolf, yeah. Yeah.
So I think they're just going to be relying on comfort here, Valdez, and thinking that, you know, what made them work out in round 1, at least getting to the middle of the standings. They want to try to rely on that same type of comfort once again in this early game to make sure they get the better fights in the mid game. That's the only constant they want to change up as they hope for a better result here in round 2. But still, like you say, so many teams going to Los Leones right now. They probably will see the parachutes left and right. See, this is going to be a solo game, probably in Picado, Hacienda del Patron. Very reminiscent of that as well.
You'll notice that a lot of different teams were flying over Picado, but the only team that actually landed there was Lunatic High Flux. So they're going to be there. The Circle guys, by the way, is exactly the same. It was a tiny bit more Eastern focused, like a tiny bit in the last game, but very forgiving circles for both rounds here on Miramar.
And essentially the same circle, Valdez. It's not going to really see any changes in dynamics in terms of how the teams will approach this rotation here, but like you say, a very forgiving circle indeed, because it does very well match with this the flight path that has been given to us here in round 2, as it did in round 1. And we've seen many circles in our regular season games where the circle pops complete opposite of where the flight path had begun. So very nice to begin us off with these mid-tier teams. Probably not going to have too much to stress about as they make this rotation here.
Taking a look at it, Zerajang, they didn't have much, many results in the first round that we did see. They were kind of just blown up as they were rotating into the first or second circle out of Los Leones. We're taking a look at some members that are still, oh, okay, hold that thought, Ruijang. Mentioned not too many results for Nightwolf. Well, we are going to have another member go down as the first casualty of round 2.
And when you start off as a 3-man squad and you go down to 2 this early in this game, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, man, I mean, Nightwolf, you don't want to be that team where you want to just get out of Los Leones this early here, but you know, when you're so outnumbered by all these teams and they know that you start out with a 3-man squad and see that 1 man going down, everyone else at Los Leones now is going to be feeling very happy to move around a little bit more freely here.
Attack Die picked up so many kills in that last one. I think it was 5 in total. Also had the help of all of his other members to total 13. But Attack Die is the guy that actually does have above average numbers for his team. Nobody else has above average. Of course, the red numbers are above average. The gray ones are below. And yeah, did a pretty good job on that first one.
Attack Die very much deserving of his qualities there. And you know, he did originally come from Entus Force with Juan and the boys, trying to make their premise into the preseason, talking about the beta season, also the pilot seasons of all 3 broadcasts. They were participating in that. Attack Die was a key member trying to get that frags down, and he's going to be joining himself in this new team of Media Bridge MCN. And does well enough in round 1 to get them chicken dinner for the first round, probably giving their good hopes now, trying to get to the grand finals of things.
Taking a look at Sandbox Recon sliding down a hill. They just really got pretty lucky with the circles in that first round, just to be completely honest. They were inside, I think, you know, circles 3 through 6, I think, and then finally they had to move, and they got to a part in the map where they could actually just hide behind the ridge, K5H, and wait until the other teams died, and they were able to place third place. So we'll see if they can get that good fortune again, because, I mean, you have good fortune in a match like that, maybe you get a little bit more confident, and then we could even see Sandbox sneak their way into the finals.
I mean, they start off right at LSR, and it's already in the circle, so, you know, it's a possibility that they will get the good circles once again, but as you do say, Valdez, I completely agree with you that Sandbox got the benefit of the doubt in terms of getting the circles along their way, and I think they should have played the earlier rotation, not really wait for the late rotation to make their chance a little bit lesser, but Sandbox, I think, along with Quadra, as you see in their screen, really do not want to rely on the late rotation to give them success. I think the early rotation for today's game will give most teams the success.
M24 here in what looks like very close to the center of the circle. It's a bit north of Minas Generales. Nobody really heading that direction right now. It's just going to be a free crate, level 3 vest in there as well.
Seems like Hungun is kind of from Kondugilis is going to be trying to just drive around it and see if he can get to it. Just scouting around to see where that might be. You can see, I think they might have learned, all these teams kind of learned that the late rotation was not good for that round 1. You're going to see a lot more earlier rotations now with Nightwolf here trying to find their squeeze against Actus Indigo here.
Yeah, Curate didn't have the best round in round number 1. If you guys were watching, he was on the back of a buggy by himself. I think he was driving it, but then he went on the back for some reason, and he was just totally out in the open, got blown up real quick, and didn't have much of a round 1. So looking to support his team a little bit better this time around.
And Takai Flux, you see them right there in La Bendita. It's already in the center of the circle. They don't have to really move around from that position, and I'm trying to have to defend down, gatekeep against so many other teams here with Blossom and DPG. Tono just trying to find their positions here. So we're going to see some shots coming through.
Yeah, Hungeldong is just driving alongside of them. He's trying to join the team, I suppose. Snakehead, he does have here in this car as well, has an ump in the back seat. It looks like something else that's silenced, so let's see if these teams actually decide to fight against each other. Doesn't look like Dono wants any piece of it, and neither does Blossom, because it's only 2 members versus 4.
And that's a big thank you for Blossom, because they only had 2 members. If they were to start fight this, it would have been a 2v4 situation, but Donowa couldn't be too sure as to, you know, how many people were going to be in that minivan, but shots coming from Lunatikai once again in Los Leones.
Ooh, nice shots here. Yoni's so low. One more, and he gets it, but he gets knocked behind the wall. So perhaps a teammate could try to come over and help him out.
It's going to be fine for now, but Los Leones, we're going to probably predict, but one less member that will go over there for the rescue.
Yeah, Rage's going to be taking out just fantastic shots there from Conan from way down range. You see the previous rank from the first 6 days that we had. Lunatic High has the highest average kills, 6 per game. That's pretty intense.
Well, again, it's probably going to be that Lunatic High Flux, their sister team, has more memorable games, talking about that one day of really good performance, but other days really kind of underwhelming their potential there. And as Rage goes down and Lunatic High, a bit more consistent, is going to be rewarded and gifted the series of gifts, if you can say, with the line of good fortune coming from Kakao there.
Just says, yeah, I'll spread it out. Maybe it makes it a tiny bit harder to loot. It's not just 1 box, but not really a big deal. Yoni trying to come in here. Looks like he has been rezzed up by a teammate, but now that bike he wanted to get to is no longer having any wheels.
Having a hard time, Azren, just trying to shoot out the tires, but he's getting better shots at the person itself with a moving character. A little bit easier to shoot, supposedly, for Azren.
He's getting close. Hits him once, but needs a couple of headshots there. Does go down.
Gotta be honest there, Azren. You potatoed that quite hard there.
It was pretty far away. Although I guess from these pro gamers, we should expect a little bit more.
Should expect no less, Valdez, and when you get that clear line of sight on the shootings there, Blaster X have to be careful of that position to make sure that Kong Gilicia doesn't spot you out from that range, but very nice rotations out for most of these teams. like I was talking about earlier, the early rotation seems to be the answer for many teams, realizing that it didn't work out for late rotation in round 1. They want to make the adjust now, trying to make it a little bit better for round 2 here.
Yeah. You notice that OPGG Rangers this time around, they went very aggressive in towards the center of the circle. Sometimes it's not good, especially with all 20 teams still surviving. But they decided to do that this time around. Sandbox being shot a bunch of times. Libro is just not able to take anyone out. Gets a bunch of members low.
Trying to get the shots from the red dot M4 from range. And it's not going to be the most reliable, but might just get Bum on the last shot here.
Smoking. A couple more would have done it, and Bum was so low. Look at him. He's going to hop out of that vehicle as soon as possible. It's nothing to do with that one anymore.
We're going to see some shots coming from Hunga, and that's Condi Gillis trying to make their entrance against Donovan here.
Yeah, up here on the high ground. Just taking some shots. Kato just running around. He's trying to lay down the smoke grenade so that he can res his teammate, but a couple of headshots. He gets extremely low too.
This is right above Minos Generales, and Hunga's going to be just ready to fire right back if Donovan continues on to fight here, but I think Donovan just wants to keep the compound without having to fight against Condi Gillis, with the shots really underwhelming them once again, and like they want to go back, but Lauren really took it at Kakao, trying to fire back into Lunatic High.
Yeah, gonna take a shot down onto Azran. Another member of Lunatic High, Godman, got headshot by a Car 98. Kakao, they want revenge against this Lunatic High team.
With Los Leones still within that circle, they're not going to feel too rushed to move out of their current position. They're going to be worrying about the teams between each other, with Yoni still trying to get revenge onto Lunatic High here.
Oh, tries to get a headshot, but he does get headshot himself. Blackbean trying to make his way over. You can see just how low he got Tio. Currently trying to go for the first AK. Will do so. Here's Yachigo coming in. Not able to get the kill. Tio just showing up too well. And Kakao, not on their game today, not able to get the kills, but do have Blackbean trying to sneak on over. But now we got Conan as well as Tio just coming on in. They're trying to get the cleanup as well.
Blackbean's going to be the only one left over for Kakao, and not the best situation you want to be in. Definitely he's not going to be the serial killers allowed here, with Blackbean being the last member that would have eventually died out if Tio just continue to be that consistent once again. After all that, but RG Maximus trying to make their entrance in within the next circle that just opened up on the south side, with Los Leones still within this surroundings here, and RG Maximus just going to play the edges here, as so many teams trying to make their way in, with Media Bridge MCN, previous Chicken Dinners winners, and trying to make their way in here as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of teams making this same rotation. Media Bridge MCN, you got Media Bridge Red even, RG Maximus, OPGG Rangers also coming way outside in the southwest on that blue.
See Maxo VIP trying to find their own casualties of differences, and trying to get the res onto probably a vehicle accident there once again. And we've seen many of these before throughout the tournament. And of course you don't want to press that F button a little bit too early there, and find himself knocked out. Not going to be trouble though, as we see Media Bridge MCN be on the surroundings here.
Yeah. You notice they're scouting a little bit. Karyat on the motorcycle, just looking to head forward, see what he can see, and is going to rejoin up with his team over at this little hut above La Bandita. The circle, not similar to round number 1, actually. Round number 1, we started on the east, but we went more northwest. This time around, it's going to be in the southeast, so we'll be on the exact opposite side of where that last circle was.
You see the mini-map right there? It's going to show a lot of teams clustered up together already on the west side, and Lunatic High, they're only going to be a part of that mix there, as they're going to be the ones on the most southern path, a little bit north of Los Leones, with Kakao still in there, with Black being the last surviving member, but it's got about the rotations now for all these teams trying to come in late and see if they can survive. With so many firepower getting ready to shoot them down, especially if they go down to the west side here.
Quadro just, they got to make a move. They do have 4 vehicles, but no doubt they're being heard right now by AST, and that's why they are doing that. Big rotation, as you did mention, just going to go all the way around the west side. not going to be afraid to eat too much blue because it's only the second circle. They can eat it for just a little bit. Blossom taking the other route. They've actually snuck all the way around to the east side of this circle. Zod Gaming going to come in from above them, the northeast, riding down this road.
Very fortunate for Zod Gaming as Blossom did literally just leave the path that where they were going to be just entering in. So, you know, Blossom did play the gatekeeping there. That would have been very costly for Zod Gaming to make entrance really tough for them there. But you know, with Blossom gone now, Zod Gaming going to happily make it to the edge of the circle and feel very good about their fortunes as they see the next circle open up.
Well, they felt good before, but now the circle is not going to be anywhere near them. It's going to be kind of centered over La Bendita, not perfectly, but is going to be more towards the northwest side of the blue. And, well, all those teams that also did the rotation to the southwest, they're also going to be banging their heads against the walls because they got to move again.
And you see Zod Gaming and Blossom there on the screen. Blossom a little bit east of Impala. Zod Gaming a little bit north of the city. And both teams have to make their way in, but the western teams now is so clustered up together. We're going to see some shots will come through eventually.
See, we saw this before from Team Klux. They're one of these teams that does like the action. They're very good at FPP too. But is it really necessary to take this fight? Do they really need to take out this team? Oh, perhaps. But Indigo is going to just go down. A couple of grenades is going to do it. All of Entis Force, they're all grouped up.
Oh my goodness.
And now they're just trying to run away, but that's going to do it. They're going to be wiped as Team Klux. I was saying they were being too aggressive, but maybe it was Entis Force that was being a little bit too clumped up, and they got punished for it.
They gave you the answer to that question you asked, Valdez. Were they too aggressive? Was that needed? They were just literally, without words, telling you yes for that question right there.
Well, it's good that it worked out, you know, because they were out in the open. They got Zod Gaming coming in behind them. Not much cover here, but taking out that team was very important. If they were still fighting with OGN and Disforce and then had Zod Gaming behind them, they might have been the team that goes down.
Yeah, Zod Gaming, I should say, did make the quick, swift entrance into the circle here. Just going to be away from the Blossom, kind of switching sides here, as Blossom was already on the front there, but going to make their late entrance themselves. See what Zod Gaming can do on the defensive end, as they're going to hear Blossom coming with the vehicles here.
Now we're taking a look at the south side of the circle right now. ROG Maximus over here, Lunatic High, one of the first teams that did make the rotation in from the south. You also got OPGG Rangers making another wide rotation. Gonna try to come in from the east side.
See, Conan was the first one to make it in. Just now waiting for the other three members to walk it in, but Media Bitch Red is gonna be there in the surrounding to pip them down, but Conan barely survives. Going to allow the other members of RG Maximus to join in, but you might just see an fight open up between Media Bitch Red and now RG Maximus.
Grenade's going to roll forward and knock out that vehicle, but Conan still hanging out there behind the cabin.
The grenades coming forward, and you see Media Bitch Red just trying to fight from distance, but not really rushing in right now. You see all the teams here still already in the circle. Conan going down, but now Ben. Not going to really indicate that they should really rush forward from this position, but see what they do with Lunatic High now joining in this party here.
Yeah, Lunatic High, they heard all the fighting. They wanted a little piece of it. The circle, not going to be great for all those teams that are fighting. A lot of them are going to be stuck over there, and right after that, they need to make a big move in. So we'll see how they do handle it. Probably the team that does win this fight is going to be the one that stays alive and has a decent rotation.
But are we going to see a lot of surviving members from whichever team does come out in the end? Because we're going to have to see some quick rotations there because only 30 seconds left for this fight to conclude. And if not, they're going to be fighting outside the circle. And with this kind of fourth circle that's now closing in, that's going to start to hurt just a little bit as they try to survive as many members as they can.
Yeah, if I were Lunatic High, I mean, you don't even necessarily have to fight this right now. You have a lot of vehicles, 4 members. You could just try to back off.
Exactly.
Yeah, you might be a little bit scared about the members up on the high ground trying to take pot shots at you, but they're going to be distracted. There's 3 other teams that are over there, so we'll see how they decide to do this one.
Team Klux, after wiping out OG and his force right there, going to spawn OPGG Rangers. Take some shots here.
Blaster X, that's pretty dangerous. Already the vehicle is going to be smoking. Going to try to take it out. Blaster X now actually trying to fight as the rest of OPGG Rangers. You're going to be shelling them with grenades up on the hill.
Really close to the circle there, but still has to make their way in. So with the circle closing now, this fight cannot last forever here. And Team Clocks, they have to make some decisions here, see what they do.
Team Clocks, they didn't have the best position and they didn't move much. And this is the eventuality of that situation. They're being sandwiched right now. Let's see if they can fight their way out. Trying to take out $4 OK. He will do so, but he gets taken out himself by Boppo. Gonna help out with that kill.
This thing's with all alone there with the other 3 members in the circle. Gonna be playing the gatekeep. And once OPG the Rangers trying to make their way in, $4 OK, as you said earlier, did go down to a knock there. So that's gonna buy some time for the rest of the members of Team Clocks to make sure they're ready for this defense, as OPG remembers, Rangers will probably make their way in.
Seen a lot of MediaBridge MCN members going down on the kill feed. It looks like we finally had our 19th team go out. Would have to imagine that was Cacao based on the kill feed. Lunatic Eye still in this one.
Lunatic Eye in the circle, just trying to defend down against any team trying to make their way in. This is a tough circle to make the entrance in. You can see a lot of teams in the West still gonna have a hard time as we see the kill feed going absolutely wild. Talking about really the tough entrance as we've seen from the West side.
Yeah, Paddock just having his way with MediaBridge Red right now. As you mentioned, the West side also a high place of contention as Quadro not having much luck trying to get in there.
This is a tough circle battle. We're going to see lots of kills coming through. It starts with Maxwell VIP here.
Oh, he doesn't have much cover here. He's going to try to peek around, takes out Conan, gets another one. Big play by Munoy. And he did it basically all by himself against 3 different members of ROG Maximus.
Didn't have many members in Maxwell VIP, but still gets the firepower onto the late entries coming there, and you're going to see a lot of kills come through, and still a lot of teams you see on the minimap on the West side just now getting into the circle. So really heavily damaged members. I wonder if anyone in the West side already making it to the circle. Wonder if they're going to get to few shots here and trying to get some free kills on this occasion.
Still some more fighting. Another Team Clux member does go down. You look at the circle. Kongdu Gillisuit going to be the fortunate one this time around. Wow, he actually just headshot him real quick there. That was a nice little shot. But Kongdu Gillisuit hasn't had to move at all. And they've got a nice little compound there inside the circle, right near the center. Definitely a big team in contention to win this one.
A big risk now with trying to get 2 members on that motorbike, trying to get to themselves in the circle here, but Team Clux, you were talking about them trying to struggle through, but Leclerc and Junsu still trying to defend against OPG the Ranger, but they still have to make their way in here.
He had a cooked frag grenade coming out there. He was trying to get the kill, I guess, on a Magninong, but either way, he just gets shot down.
Dynamo will be out, and we'll still see a lot of teams trying to shoot their way through it. Hyper with the rest of Kongdu Gillisuit still in full squad tension and trying to make their way in, but still a lot of shots coming through on the left and right.
Yeah, Sato not facing the right direction, was fighting against someone else, but Zerajong is going to come in and help out his teammate. Going to throw down some smokes and try to get up Sato. MediaBridge MCN, I mentioned it before, they were dying so much on the kill feed, but we still have Carryout alive, and there's really only Balp over here. So if you could fight through him, just take it a little bit easy and try to med up quick.
Look at where Sandbox is, though, trying to join in with all 4 teams going to cluster themselves now, and still not going to be able to talk about much because we still see the action on the way. Lunatic Flux still going in again against ASC here.
Yeah, Alumne is in the building right next to Retri. Tried to throw a grenade, didn't work out. And Big Son trying to get the grenade kills. He's going to get 2 knocks, but that's after.
Oh my goodness!
He got 2 kills, actually. He was able to throw 2 grenades, and Sandbox did not move. They were able to get the kill as he was coming in, but then they lost 2 members themselves.
Sandbox literally went from 4 to now eventually just 1 in Ether. Just has to run away with Alumni trying to just laugh at the situation and really see what they really came towards. And see a lot of kills now on the West side still happening as we're still down to 10 teams, but we might see that number decrease as we get over time.
Zod Gaming, they've just been quietly hanging around on the east side of the circle. Was able to take a couple of kills against MediaBridge Red a little bit earlier on, but now they're pretty much all alone over there. The circle this time around, though, is going to be on the west side entirely, so Kongdu Gillisuit finally have to make some moves.
Gillisuit trying to fire at lots of shots and trying to get the kills along the way. And Aldog's going to be the last one standing and not going to have no chance against Voicy now trying to come in. And still, Gyeongdu Gillisuit still, I feel like they, with the full squad, they have the best chances in this current inside the circle position. Going to be looking very, very strong as they just look to defend against all the other members trying to come in.
Yeah, definitely. They were very close to the circle, closer than Zod Gaming, who is another squad that has 4 members left remaining. They were able to just fight through Blossom and make their way in. So those two teams, Gyeongdu Gillisuit and Zod Gaming, in the biggest contention to win round number 2.
Mew2K trying to fire towards Actus Indigo. He's going to be already in the circle, trying to pick that out as their next position to make their way forward. They're never going to fight towards Gyeongdu Gillisuit, trying to have their positions on their way. Ether talked about them previously having a 4-man squad very, very much earlier in this game, but getting wiped down to basically nothing now. Gonna have to look for some miracle plays as he's trying to make this next entrance here. Zod?
Oh, Boppo gonna take a kill there. Moto K was a little bit far forward as OPGG Rangers now are gonna be spotted, but Leclos is hiding over here prone. Gonna get 1 kill on Amagne. It's only Boppo now trying to prone his way in, but down he does go. Shot by Hungun. That's gonna be the end of OPGG Rangers.
But Team Clutch doesn't know that OPGG Rangers are white now, and they want to just make themselves forward here, but really have a hard time talking about the aggression now coming in. But Gyeongdu Gillisuit, you see the more members dying out from Zod Gaming will mean more smiles coming towards Gyeongdu Gillisuit, who's going to have more of a chance to win out this round 2 here.
You mentioned how Leclos is just taking it super slow. He has 9 first aid kits, so he's going to be okay. He does have to run very soon, though, to make it inside the circle. Join up with Junsu. But, Junsu, he was just proning through the desert field, so never mind. Don't want to join up with him if possible.
Leclos going to be opting for the first aid kit strategy. They just made up as much as they can with Voicy now down for Gyeongdu Gillisuit. So what that means for Zod Gaming, who's trying to fire back as they're trying to make the circle in.
Oh, the rest is Zod Gaming, though. Hyper gonna take out one. Can he take out New2K? Inside the blue now, trying to get on top of him. New2K was proning in, and a couple of shots will take him out.
Yeah, as long as they get Zod out, Actus Indigo doesn't look like a really fair contention against Gyeongdu Gillisuit, who's looking like they still have 4 members they want to just carry out to get a chicken dinner in round 2. And really, unless we see the Actus Indigo with the 3 members, see if they can fire back, we're still going to see Zod Gaming going out, and that might give now Gyeongdu Gillisuit the best chance to win out round 2.
Yeah, Zod was trying to first aid outside in the blue and had to run in. He was running out of time. So the only thing that's really going to help out Octostar's Indigo is that they have the circle heavily to their advantage. Gyeongdu Gillisuit have to run through. You can see there's not much cover. They're going to have to use some smokes or maybe run around the edges of the circle to make their way in.
And the 4v3 is not the most unfair situation, but it's going to be 4v2 now with Indigo losing 1 more member to get there. But Gyeongdu Gillisuit with 4 members strong just have to fight against 1 member of Nightwood with Zerchang right in the mix there. But like I said, it's how you separate your members now, trying to separate them to wide angles, and then you can kind of open up your position to make sure you secure this round 2 victory.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know if Gyeongdu Gillisuit know that there's 2 squads left over. Maybe they just think there's 3 members of Octostar's Red in that one location, because they're going to be rotating aggressively towards the west side. Hungun could be caught out. Nice rotation, though, from Hyper. Is going to catch 1 member off guard, gets Mad Cow extremely low.
Hey, but Hungun goes down for Zerchang's grenade now, and that will make the difference now. Just throwing another one, and that might just get the second knock, and we'll probably get the kill here.
That's going to be a good kill for Zerchang. Should make this pretty interesting. Has to get inside the white circle, though. He's getting pretty low.
And see Zerchang just trying to rush right in. The yellow icon will indicate the last member of Nightwolf. No, he still has to make a little bit more way in. Very, very close.
He's right there on the edge. Okay, he's in, but Voicy.
His heart is above the circle. That's what's important here. He gets that first aid up, and he's very much alive. A 3v3 scenario right now for Gyeongdu Gillisuit. If they don't get the res out, this will be trouble for Gyeongdu Gillisuit because everyone is looking towards that direction.
Zerchang making this one a very fun ending. It was supposed to be, you know, Gillisuit just trampling over Octostar's Indigo, but that might not be the case now.
Actus Indigo not even looking towards Zerchang, which is the proper thing they should be doing, because Gyeongdu Gillisuit, as soon as they knock them out, Zerchang will be a lot easier to take out by themselves. But Actors Indigo, it's about these two cluster members right now with Jaehyun and Mad Cow. See if they can handle the Kong Degusu trying to make a wide rotation here.
Oh, Mad Cow got to be careful. He doesn't even have a helmet right now, and Boise with the mini trying to take some pot shots at his head through the windows of this van. He's getting close.
Gotta imagine that the two members will be right there. So Boise and the rest of Kong Degusu now gonna try to take some fire, cook some grenade, and see if they can get some nice kills here.
It's actually smoke grenades to make sure that they can make it into the white circle and just cover the vision of Actostars Indigo. They're moving forward now. Boise gonna join up. Phenom tries to take some shots at Jaehyun. Trading blows back and forth, but here comes Phenom. He's running on in.
Definitely saw him right there, and see gonna kills coming through with Zertan. Who's gonna make the difference right here as we see the frag grenade ready to cook up right now?
He could just grenade everybody right now if it's perfect. Mad Cow gonna go down. Jaehyun too, and now it's only Zeratan, and they know where he is. One grenade's not enough, and Kong Degusu picks up the win. Nice finish for them. Perfect smoke grenades, good execution. Come in and get the kills there. And they will get the chicken dinner here for round 2.
Perfectly played by Kong Degusu with the 3 members they had. Weighed the wide rotation to make sure they go for the 2 members of Actors Indigo first and go for Nightwolf with Zersheng left remaining at the end. So very nicely done there for Kong Degusu, who deservedly plays that correctly and gets to a round 2 victory.
Yeah, you got to hand it to them. They got the fortunate circles once again, as we did see from Sandbox, but Sandbox couldn't close it out with the chicken dinner, whereas Kong Degusu, good execution there all the way towards the end. Very deserving of the chicken dinner. They pick up 15 kills this time around, so nicely done for Kong Degusu.
And we also see Nightwolf now kind of looking towards Zercheng, surviving to the very end. They're just barely getting in with his heart above the blue circle, gets the first aid off, and then gonna get second instead of third on that occasion, and it's gonna give Nightwolf a nice smile as they go into round 3.
Let's take a look at some highlights before we do get into our interview that we will have later on. Just Lunatic High, we mentioned it before, they're in 17th place. They just barely could not make it into the final 16. So they're here in the wild card, but not getting the results that they need to get top 4 today.
You know, I wasn't really a fan of either of these teams, with Kakao and Lunatic High starting off in Los Angeles again, but staying in Los Angeles for the longest of time was not the best decision in my opinion, because you see that grenade coming off, kind of destroying Entis Force altogether, down at 20th place once again. But going back to my point with Los Leones, if you're gonna return back to Los Leones knowing that 5 teams are gonna be in the mix once again, at least farm out quickly and try to make your next rotation very much early. But Kakao and Lunatic High, with the continuing fight between the 2 teams, lost so many members early in the game to not do any team justice on that one.
Unai just really quick shooting. Got to hand it to him. And you saw that Sato went down early, but Zerachang with the good help to, you know, if that hadn't happened, maybe they don't get into second place. But those 2 grenades actually take out Sandbox, who were in a good position, actually. It cut down 3 members, got 3 kills for Rocket Armor.
And I like what Kong Degusu did all game. I think they were given the position to really play that aggressively, and they knew when to pull the aggression and when to back out. And Kong Degusu, you see right there, Zercheng very well done with the grenade there. We're getting Hungun right down, but this is the best play of the game. Really just going for Actors Indigo on the varying angles, and Jaehyun knew nowhere of where Kong Degusu would pop off. And right now you see the last one coming through, and Zercheng had no chance to go up against 3v1 in terms of Kong Degusu getting that chicken dinner.
Was a good play from Zerachang. He made it really interesting, got second place for his team. But guys, we are going to head over to the interview. I'll let Joel translate, and let's see who we are going to be hearing from tonight.
With PUBG Warfare Masters in round 2, getting into a conclusion. You can see, you know, which team are going to be trying to get to the grand finals by becoming top 4 out of the day today. And we're going to see really about the last chances given to all these teams here. Still very much a contention and a lot of aggression being played by all these teams to have their hope chances here. But we're going to go with 13 kills being going over to this one player here with Midicris MCN with Aqua to see what he has to say. It's your first time in this interview. Anything you want to say to the fans right now? My name is Aqua from Media Bridge MCN here.
사실 미디어 브릿지 MCN이 가장 좀 약한 모습을
Media Bridge MCN kind of showing weak form throughout the season, and thought that Miramar wasn't the best of games for you guys as well for throughout the season. And what was the biggest thing that really was a difference in terms of you playing better, much better on the round one? And we were really confident during scrims to play in Miramar, but when we were trying to make sure the circle were onto our favor when we had the scrims, but it's a really difficult circle to really play with. But the shot calling was really on point today in round one, and felt like we played the right plays and made the right decisions as we brought ourselves to success to get that chicken dinner in round one. And really, your results seem to be very consistent in terms of that wasn't really lacking in terms of you guys doing much better in one map over the other. And I feel like you have a little bit of favoritism in terms of what map you like to play with. And it just feels like, that would have been the situation you guys would have kept with. But what was the kind of the thought process going with Miramar here? We go with Erangel trying to farm out a little bit safely and have a very secure route into the pathing and trying to get to the next locations. But the strategizing is a little bit tougher in Miramar. And there's nothing that we can do because we farm around in the extreme edges for the starting location. So if the circle really doesn't go against our way, then we have a hard time rotating, meeting so many teams along the way. And there's really nothing really can do when we have situations like that. But we just have to hope for the best, especially for the Miramar maps here. Of course, we were trying to defend out early here. Yeah, we were trying to make sure we get the kills that we were only able to get, not really greed over for anymore. And we tried to make sure we position our members correctly to make sure we can make the best out of the opportunities that we had and collect the kills along the way as well. So you're talking about what that meant for so many members doing so well for you guys in round one, that for FPP on Miramar was not the best of results for you guys. We were actually more confident in FPP more than TPP, but the circle, we had to overcome it every time, and I feel like we could have done it better, but overcoming the circle was kind of our weaknesses in round two that didn't get us a result. Of course, so if you do go to the finals, you're going to probably have to get better at that strategy. And we're definitely practicing and trying to get better at that as well. You guys are really on your way and trying to make it to the finals, and everything with round one probably will get you guys a good chance to get that done. But of course, improving on your weaknesses to make you guys a better team. And you do have the finals in the grasp there. And anything that you want to say against the rounds 3 and 4 underway here? We are a very lacking team with a lot of flaws, but with practice we're getting better and kind of improving on our weaknesses. And with the scrims, we're trying to make sure we're trying to improve on it every single day, and we're trying to believe in ourselves, and hopefully we can get to the finals and you can keep your eyes on us as well. And that was Aqua coming in from Media Bridge MCN, who did get that round 1 chicken dinner, heading into round 3 and 4, thinking they have a good chance now to make it to the grand finals.
Well, certainly they do. Showing up pretty well today, but it's not going to be easy. You got to be good on the next map as well. But guys, we are going to take a 10-minute break before we do get to Erangel for TPP.